Hey, gaming grillers, it's me, Mr. B, and we're here talking about Anthem again, because it's amazing. Well, we'll get into that in a minute. This weekend saw the release of the free demo, after last weekend's VIP demo, which, as we all know, had its issues. And it's my job now just to have a look at the two and to see how did BioWare respond to all the criticism that they got during the week. Because we all know there was a shit ton load of insert your own descriptive tag here, but bandwagon experts who came to tell BioWare exactly what they're doing wrong. Well, I'm pleased to tell you, things look a lot better. And let me go in to tell you exactly how. The first thing we need to do, for those of you who have been living under a rock, is just have a quick recap of what happened at the VIP. Now, as far as the gameplay and stuff was concerned, nothing much has changed. In fact, it's pretty much the same. But the problem was with the quality of the game. Things like server issues, infinite loading bugs, crashing, frame rate drops, all came together to create a perfect storm for YouTubers to rip it to shreds. And they did a bloody good job of it. I mean, the negativity bandwagon was literally in full speed and there was no stopping it. BioWare had to make a response, not literally by jumping on Twitscape or Face Twitch or whatever you want to call it and go, oh, we're really sorry and we're working on it. That's what we're doing because we're afraid, not by doing any of that shite, but actually grabbing the bull by the horns and making improvements ready for this or for the last weekend, and they did it in style. I loaded up the game at 5 PM UK time, expecting the worst. I mean, I sat there with my fingers crossed, going, please, please, please get it right, because I knew that if there'd have been more server issues, that'd have been it. Dead on arrival. The YouTubers of the world would have all got unilateral chubbies, and they'd have been jacking off to all the views they're gonna get for all the negative shite they can spew out. And I could see the headlines on YouTube and it made me cringe. But as I opened up Anthem and I saw that resume and pressed X and it loaded up first time, no issues, the biggest smile on my face arrived. And then I walked through Fort Tarsis as I did in the VIP, and yes, right, it was a little bit buggy and no, not buggy. Buggy's the wrong word. A little bit laggy. To me, the first person view. I'll get into that in a bit. But you get to your javelin and you press X and away you go into a mission. And you sit there and you start, I started fearing again the infinite load screen. Am I going to get it? Is this where it all goes shit shape? Is this where the YouTubers can finally go, ha ha, we got it? No. It loaded. First time. Straight in. And I was so happy. So, now, obviously, there was a bit in the back of my head thinking, I could have just been lucky. I could have just been lucky. So I tried it again. I backed out the mission. I know I left 3 standing, but screw them. I backed out the mission, closed it all down, reloaded it again, straight in. And then I did it again, straight in. No issues. In fact, for the whole weekend, and I played a good 12, 16 hours of this. Obviously to get footage and obviously to test a few things. But at no point did I have any infinite loading screens, any server issues, any crashing. I didn't get kicked out of any games. It was, quality-wise, spot on. And to my mind, you've got to give credit where credit is due. But it also allowed me to review the demo and the game itself without having to spend 3 hours waiting to get in. And that, to me, bravo, BioWare. Bravo. You did me proud there, lads. You did us proud. Obviously, like I said, this allowed me to review the game itself, the actual game. Now, on the last video I did, which I'll link at the end, I did touch on that slightly, bits of it. But now I can have a decent look at the actual demo itself and the gameplay from the demo. Now, the gameplay itself hasn't changed. It's superb. I love the 3D battles. And when I say 3D battles, obviously it's in 3D, it's a game. It's not a 2D game, it's a 3D game. What I mean by that is that you can fight from above, you can fight from below, you've got different axes to attack the fight with, which turns the battles into something that you don't really experience with other games. And I like that factor of it. It involves proper tactics, especially squad tactics. Now, again, I would rather have a way to communicate with randoms, but if you can't, you can't. It is what it is. I loved the difficulty bonus incentives. The harder you make it, the more stuff you get. That is spot on. The main thing for me, above anything else, is all 4 javelins felt different. You take Destiny, you take a Titan, a Warlock, and a Hunter, yeah? You generally pick which one you want to do. Oh, this is one of the comments I heard, and it's something I agreed with a long while ago, is you tend to pick which class you're going to go for depending on what jump you like. But they all invariably feel the same thing. Apart from the jump, there's not much difference. In this, all the javelins felt completely different. The Interceptor was super quick. The Colossus was super slow and tanky. The Storm is just a floaty space witch, and the Ranger was just a badass all-rounder. Not really brilliant at anything, but not crap at anything either. So they all played differently, and they all felt differently, they all moved differently, they all had different speeds, and I like that. It made you think. I started gravitating away from the Colossus, and I never thought of that, because I like to be a tank. But it just felt it felt too different from something that I would like to play. Interceptor or Storm were the ones I gravitated to. Interceptor when I want to be a cheeky badass ninja, or Storm when I want to be an elemental wrecking machine. And that's where I gravitated to. The other thing that I liked as well is the day-night cycle, because the mission, or the ones that you got, felt totally different at night as they did in the day. Now notice the important word there, felt different. This is entertainment when it's all said and done. It's how these things make you feel. And this game felt different playing it in the daytime and felt different playing it in the night. The things like the moon shining through the trees, it all added atmosphere. And that is a massive plus for me. Now, there was some negatives as well. For me personally, I don't like the first person view in Fort Tarsis. Not because it gives me a headache, although I appreciate some people do have that problem, but then, whatever. You'll come to find, if you're new to my channel or new to watching my videos, I have very, very, very little sympathy for most people, because I have my own issues. I don't complain about it. I'm sure as shit I ain't gonna put it on to anybody else. And the straight fact is, if I didn't like something, if a first-person game gives me headaches, yeah, I carry on playing other games like Destiny and things like that. I don't really find place to complain, but that's just me. That's a rant. I'm not going to get into that. I don't like for me, it doesn't add anything. That's my biggest problem with the first-person aspect of Fort Tarsis. It doesn't add anything to the game. Now, there is an argument that it's supposed to help you build a better relationship with the NPCs, because obviously you can see and interact with the facial expression and things like that. But they had that in Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, before you say it, yes, the facial expressions was shit in Mass Effect Andromeda, but they're not in this. They could have done it the same way, just with better facial expressions. For me, the first-person view just doesn't add anything, and that, to me, makes it a negative. Some of the textures felt or seemed low-res. For instance, when you're out and about in the world, if you walk through a bush, the bush just disappears. Don't like that. I'd rather it move or interact with me in the same way it does in Red Dead or God of War or something like that. I don't like the idea it just simply disappears. I'd rather it crush under my feet. I'm in a fucking 3-ton war machine. A bush shouldn't disappear. It should crumple at my feet as I crush everybody. And to me, that's just laziness. And something they could have programmed. Now, it might change in the release. I doubt it, but it might do. The only other negatives for me were the guns. Ah, shit, who is this one? But I'm in two minds in this. You see, the guns felt meh. I have to agree with Jim Sterling on this one. And the guns, they didn't inspire you to shoot, you know what I mean? They felt like a stopgap between your abilities. Now, here's the thing. For anyone who's played Warframe, or even for those who haven't played Warframe, Warframe has a thing where it's more centered about your actual Warframe's abilities rather than the guns you shoot. And maybe, just maybe, that's the sort of feel they're going for here. You have weapons, you have guns, but really they're just there as a stopgap between your abilities, because it's your abilities that do the damage. For me personally, apart from the Devastator sniper rifle, which is a thing that shoots like a mini nuke as a bullet, it's crazy. The guns just felt average and sounded meh, and sounded like flat farts. They didn't do anything for me. But they are all, of course, hypercritical points. Hypercritical. They're not major negatives, and they're certainly not things that I would trash a game for. They're just little bits. And the other thing you have to bear in mind as well, this is a freaking demo. For God's sake, it's a demo. Things could change. I know they're actually adding things for the main game. And I've seen tons already of stupid, negative videos from popular YouTubers, people that are a lot more popular than I am. And it makes me sick. Because for me, personally, I will always give respect to anybody that deals with the problem head on. And you can't argue that BioWare has made massive quality improvements to the game. Now, for me personally, there's some things they need to polish and tidy up. But that can be done over time. This is meant to be a live service game. But it takes me back to the point that I made in my last video. And I believe this now more than ever. This is a game with huge potential. Now, whether that potential is enough for you to sink your money into right now is a decision for you. It's obviously I'm going to sink my money into it because I'm a YouTube superstar. I have to, for you. And because I'm greedy and I like games. But at the end of the day, the potential for me is there. And this could end up being something truly, truly special. All the foundations are there, or seem to be there, for a fantastic game. And anybody who's writing this off right now because they don't like EA is a fecking fool. BioWare needed to come out with a massive GFY on this one, and to me they have. And that's all I've got to say about this. That's all I've got to say. Fantastic demo. They've done a cracking job. Well done, BioWare. So, that's everything about the demo. You can switch off now if you want. Only joking. Just before you do, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the people that subscribed. I'm so close to 400 subscribers. So close I can bloody smell it. And I just want to say thank you, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. And for everyone who's joined me on Facebook is awesome. So I'm now streaming on Facebook, which is just fantastic. I love streaming on Facebook. It's amazing. And it's a better community as well, because we can all get together, we can do posts and things and do games. It's awesome. Come join me, come find out. Links in the description below. So, that's all from me, Mr. B. Ta-ta for now.